Do you know what the Critical Raw Material Act is? So let's try to discover it here in Padova in this outstanding dissemination event realized in the framework of CLOCS project. We are with Franco Bonollo, professor at the University of Padova and guest in this event on Critical Raw Material Act. We are wondering what is the contribution of University of Padova in the field of Critical Raw Material Act.
Yes, so the activity of Padova University in the field of raw materials is quite extensive. We are some of the founders of the EIT Raw Materials Consortium in Europe, a group of more than 300 companies, universities and associations. In this frame we are managing more or less 20 projects, both in the field of research, in the field of education and lifelong learning. We want to be involved more and more in this topic, which is strategic for the development of the European Union and for having a good perspective in research and innovation.
We are with Fabio Ferri, Educational Manager at the EIT Raw Material. Thank you for the availability. I have a simple question for you, and the question is how the EIT Raw Material organization works in the framework of Critical Raw Material.
EIT Raw Materials is one of the knowledge innovation communities of the European Institute of Innovation Technology. Our role is to promote innovation and education in the raw material sector. Both innovation and education will be extremely strategic in the coming years to reduce the dependency of Europe from raw materials imported abroad, from technologies, and providing the talents which Europe is in desperate need for the coming years to meet the targets of the Critical Raw Materials Act and on the longer term of the Green Deals by 2050.
We are with Samuel Carrara, Scientific Project Officer at the Joint Research Center of the European Commission. And the question is, what is the activity of the Joint Research Center in the field of Critical Raw Material Act?
The Joint Research Center provides scientific knowledge to the policy DGs of the European Commission in order to provide scientific base for the policies which are implemented by the policy DGs. We have a wealth of activities. Many units deal with different areas of the critical raw materials themselves. Specifically, our unit, which is called Energy Transition Insights for Policy, deals with supply chains, so not only raw materials, but the entire supply chains. And the recent activity that we developed ended up with producing a foresight report, which carries out activities in terms of supply chain analysis, so the bottlenecks and the vulnerabilities of the supply chains, and a material demand forecast scenarios, so the future scenarios of material demand. This knowledge contributed to the scientific base of the Critical Raw Materials Act, the CRM Act, which was released in March, so a few months ago.
We are with Antonino Polimeno, Professor and Deputy Director of the Department of Chemical Sciences of the University of Padova. And the question is how the Department of Chemical Sciences is contributing in the field of critical raw materials.
As you know, chemistry is central for the importance of developing, studying and solving the problem of critical raw materials. In particular in Padua, the chemistry department is the main seat of the new course in sustainable chemistry and technologies. Is also a very important part of these initiatives related to the national PhD program, which we hope will have a huge importance in the future. Finally, I would like to mention that there is lots of research going on in our department, which is related to critical raw material development of new technologies, and hopefully we are giving a substantial contribution to this important part of our future technology.